What's going on, Crunch Nation? It's Crunch here coming at you with another MLB The Show 20 video, and today I'm got a special video for you. It's for all you guys out there who don't have a lot of stubs, newer to MLB The Show, and still want to be able to play the game with and still be able to relatively compete with all those big teams, those guys that already have the 99s and everything. So I'm going over a Budget Beast team. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn that noti bell, leave a comment down below. Tell me what cards you guys like as Budget Beasts, what cards that you saw that I picked that you use, what cards that you plan on adding to your team, and overall what you guys thought of the video. So for the Budget Beasts, we will start here with the starting pitchers. And one thing with this video, all of these players are going to be right around 4,000 stubs or under. So that's the criteria. And first pitcher we got here is Dawn Sutton. As you can see, going over his stats, he's got a four-seamer that sits at 92. But the one thing that's good about him is he's a 5-pitch pitcher. He's got a knuckle curve that sits at 79, a slider at 85, screwball at 75, and sinker at 89. He's got a lot of diversion, high, low, and the slider plays nice, and the screwball is a very nice pitch. So we will move on to the next pitcher for starting pitchers, and this one's a little bit different. He's more of a fireballer, has a little bit more revolution, sinkers at 95, four-seamer is 98, his changeup and slider, not too much different, but that curveball sits at 80. And being able to throw 98 can hit 100, and that makes a big difference whenever you're going from an 80-mile-per-hour curveball up to a four-seamer. Noah Syndergaard is definitely a pitcher that a Budget Beast team should use. And we got one more starting pitcher for you that I'll go over, and that is Patrick Corbin. Now, Patrick Corbin, the best thing with him is that 68-mile-per-hour curveball that really separates itself from the four-seamer and two-seamer. Those sit at 92. The slider's at 82 and changes at 80. Yeah, that's kind of the same. But being able to throw that curveball that can look like a changeup, can look like a slider, and then go in at 92 really can throw off your opponent. So that's the three starting pitchers I got for you. Now we will get into the relief pitchers. And the first one I have for you is Ryan Presley. Let me find him here. He's an 81, and he's only got 3 pitches. There's not a lot of good relief pitchers out right now, but the one thing that is good is all 3 pitches are separated by a good percentage of miles per hour. You got the four-seamer sitting at 95. You got the slider sitting at 90, which is a pretty fast slider, but it can throw people off because that'll actually look like a four-seamer. And the sweep and curve sitting at 83. As for the second relief pitcher, I'm going to go real budget here. It's Ryan Fearabend. This card is only a 49, but there's some secrets to him. He's a knuckleballer. He doesn't have that much velocity on his pitches, but his four-seamer sits at 87, that curveball's at 72, the knuckleball's at 75, and he's got a nice two-seamer and changeup. That's 5 pitches, and a lot of people are going to have trouble hitting that knuckleball. Very solid for your relief pitching. And we will get into our last pitcher we're going to cover here, and that is our closer, and we're going to go with Lee Smith. This card is a beast. He is a four-seamer. He has 98 miles per hour, so that'll blow past you there. We got a slider that sits at 88, a cutter that sits at 93, and a very tough forkball pitch to hit. Nice little mix to get you through. And that'll wrap up the pitchers there. So we will go to first base. Paul Goldschmidt. Now, Goldie here, he's pretty solid. He's got very good contact stats and very good power left, and he's just all around good. His speed isn't that great, but his fielding's decent for a first baseman, and all in all, just a pretty good card. All around solid, very good first baseman. So we will go to second base here. And we're going to look at Gleyber Torres. He's sitting at 2,648 stubs currently. Gleyber is pretty good all around here as well. Very good power, both right and left in the 80s. That's pretty solid out of your second baseman. The fielding, not the greatest, but okay arm, reaction, all right about average, and pretty solid for an 82. So we will move over to third base. And our third baseman that we're going to use for this is Eugenio Suarez at 3,339 stubs. Solid card, very good power card, both power right and power left in the 90s, and for an 83, that's really solid. Pretty good fielding too, and it got a pretty solid arm. All in all, pretty good. The only downfall is you don't get much speed here. We will move to our shortstops. And our shortstop of choice is Carlos Correa at 2,785 stubs. Correa, he's just solid kind of all around. The contact right isn't that great, but he makes up with it for the power right, and the contact left makes up for the power left. Got good fielding, great arm, actually is not bad, and got a little bit of speed, nothing too out there, but definitely not a slouch there. So we will move on to catcher. And our catcher of choice is Mitch Garver, sitting at 2,300 stubs. Pretty budgety there. He's an 80 overall and great power stats. The contact right isn't the greatest, but he does make up for it with power right and power left, sitting at 89 and 90. And the fielding's okay, decent arm, doesn't have a lot of speed, but for a budget team, pretty solid. We will move over to left field. And this is the only card that I'm going to do that's over 4,000 stubs, but it's definitely worth it. You're looking at Giancarlo Stanton. You're looking at 61 contact, 90 contact left, 88 power right, and 104 power left. Very, very solid for a gold card. And you're really not going out of budget for it. Got decent speed. The fielding isn't great, but it's will suffice for you. We will move to center field now. And our card of choice here is Lorenzo Cain. This one's only 1,354 stubs, but the one thing good here, he's got pretty good contact stats. This is your one guy that's going to be a little bit more fielding, because there's not a lot of power out there that is center field that can still field. So we just went with this and sacrifice a little bit of power on here. But great reaction, okay speed, all around solid card. And we will go to right field now. And this one will be Max Kepler, sitting at 1,439 stubs. Got good contact, 69 right, 82 left. The powers left isn't that great at 59, but the power right at 72 is very good. Decent fielding, actually pretty good at 85. 89 reaction, pretty good, and 59 speed, not the worst. So we got you your full team here, but we're going to do 2 bench bats that you can use. And the first one is going to be Yordan Alvarez. So let me search here and find him. Yordan Alvarez, 80. Not the best fielder per se. You could play him in left field, but you're going to really slack there. But that power coming off the bench at only less than 1,500 subs is perfect bench bat, and pretty good contact stats there too. I got one more bench bat for you, and we're going to go with Gary Sanchez. Let me find him here. Gary Sanchez is currently 2,345 stubs. He's an 80 overall too. You could play him for catcher, but the contact stats aren't the greatest. This is a guy you're going to put in from your bench when you need a home run. Hit that power with the 88 power right, 90 power left. Good arm strength if you did want to play him. But that's all I got for you, Crunch Nation. Tell me which guys you plan on using for your team. If I missed anybody, if there's any players that should be on this list that you think, comment down below. Let me know. Subscribe, hit the comments, turn that noti bell. Gonna have a lot more MLB videos, a lot more Madden videos coming out shortly. And still, let me know what you guys want to see with the channel. But that's all I got for you, YouTube. Peace.